All it takes is all you've got, meaning whatever you need in life is already within you. Our today's next guest is the person who lives by this philosophy. Our next guest is a very special person who has been competing from last 36 years. Yes, 36 years. When he was at the age of 8, he swam across the Dal Lake in Srinagar, India. He's one of the only Indians who has done a complete Ultraman. He's done many full Ironmans. He's done Ironman 70.3. He's also one of the few Indians who has actually ran the full Comrades Marathon. He's done number of full half marathons. He's done Paris Breve, which is the 1200 plus kilometers ultra cycling race. He's done SR, which is 200, 300, 400, 600, and 1000 kilometers cycling BRMs across the calendar year. And he's done that 3 times. Our next guest name is Bipin Kaul. Bipin Kaul, yes, he's a 44-year-old ultraman, ultra cyclist, ultra runner, and he's going to be sharing some gems with you today. So I would recommend that you hit the subscribe button right away. Wherever you're listening, subscribe to the channel, subscribe to the podcast, and have a listen till the very end, because this session will motivate you to get the hell out of your bed and start moving. Let's go. Very good evening, Bipin. Thank you for being on the show. And it is such a great pleasure to have you with us and share a sneak peek into your life, which spans into 35, 36 years of endurance journey.
No, thank you very much, Shant, for having me here. I think I always take these opportunities because whatever I have done 35 years or whatever age, like today at 45 age, if I can actually in an hour session summarize and give it to somebody and somebody gets inspired by that, I think the job is well done. So looking forward to talking to you.
Absolutely. Right before you joined, I was just telling the audience that you have done you name a ultra event and you've already ticked it off your bucket list. In fact, the journey starts right at the very beginning, with the a tender age of 8, where people are just trying to get hold of their pants, so to say, and trying to just figure out what is happening in life. And you swam across Dal Lake at the age of 8. What gave you the energy, the motivation to get started so early? Please take us right at the very beginning.
No, I think more very important that the kind of school I started from, I think it was always a school which inculcated complete growth, inclusive growth, not only education, but physical fitness. So there was nothing called extracurricular.
Hmm.
Everything was co-curricular. So it was everything. Sports was co-curricular, education was co-curricular. Nothing was extracurricular, that something is core and then secondary. So I think that is how my upbringing happened. And I think somewhere in my DNA, I think it is there to keep on challenging myself. While I was a child, it was
Hmm.
inherently there that I used to always go, अच्छा अभी ये event हो रहा है तो like school में I remember. So I was in sixth when I did my this event, and they were seniors, 12th class guys, 10th class. For me, they were like at that time when you're a kid, 12th guy was like really senior for you,
Hmm.
and they would participate in these events. So we had a school swimming team, regatta team we used to call. So when on every Wednesday we used to have races in Dal Lake. So we had our own boats, house boats.
Hmm.
Every house had 10, 15 boats, and then people, strong swimmers and everybody, they used to participate in boat
Hmm.
competitions and everything. So that really used to excite me. And I remember I used to walk 15 kilometers, go there for the swimming sessions, or there was once in 10 days I would get a chance or half a hour swim. So I would actually walk down from my house and do these things, and it used to
Hmm.
really excite me unknowingly. There was no pressure of becoming somebody or proving something. So the sheer excitement in these things were that I think at that time I didn't even understand what I was doing, but I was enjoying it. So when I did this swim, my father has done this event. So it was like Dal Lake, you go and come back, and there's a cutoff. You go, if you meet the cutoff, you can come back also in that time period. So my father had done it, so I was aware, so there was no pressure that family I have to also do it, but I used to enjoy it. And I did. My father was besides me in this that whole boat. So that's the purest of memory of my father with me. So that will be the longest time actually I would have spent engaging with him.
Wow.
Thing. So we were 12 hours, he was in a boat and I was swimming. I was doing a backstroke. I didn't know till I did my first Ironman, I didn't know a freestyle swim. So I did in backstroke, but it was going and coming back 11 kilometers of 7 miles. So that is how I learned. So it was completely, I will say, the opportunity what I had in school, nothing to do with me. Yes, I am somebody once I get into now, which I have realized now what kind of person I am. But at the age of 8, I didn't know myself also, that I didn't think that deep that what kind of person I am. It was sheer pleasure and enjoyment of the event I used to participate.
Absolutely. I think in life or in business, what they say is that if you actually enjoy, then it does not even feel like work. It does not feel painful. It does not feel like you're doing something which is extraordinary and something which keeps you motivated enough to be able to be, in some people's language, be a freak enough to be able to wake up at 4:30 and go out for a 5 a.m. Run or a ride or a swim, right?
No, I think actually for me everything, and it be professional life, sports. I need something to wake me up 4 o'clock in the morning. It's something which keeps on pushing me and making me insecure about that. Something unknown which I don't know about myself. Every event I have registered, knowing that I'm not capable. At that minute when I register, I don't think I'm equipped or capable. But that journey itself of from being incapable to capable to cross the finish line, as that is what I've enjoyed across the board. I trust me, I don't even remember now events I have done in terms of that day.
Yeah.
But I can tell you, even if I slip into coma, I will be able to tell you how did I prepare, how which day I used to do what kind of logistics I used to create. And I used to travel. I used to like when I was doing my Ultraman training, I used to travel every day. Every day I was in a different state. I used to head south for one of the banks, and every day. But the kind of logistics I had created, if I'm in Vizag, I knew that I can go and do an open sea swim there. If I was in Coimbatore, I will do a run there. If I was in Chennai, I will do a triathlon training with one of my friends. If I was in Bombay, I know I could do. I used to land up at Neriman Point at 4 o'clock, and from there to Santa Cruz, I will come back running, go to Siddhivinayak, and then go running. So that was my standard. So I think that part really excites me, and it's not about the event now. I don't do event now because for the heck of it,
Mm.
but for making me a better person now. So every event is every time I make sure that I'm participating, registering for something which I am not capable of at
Mm.
that time. Because by the time I invest and cross that finish line, I have become a better person or a better professional or a better athlete.
Absolutely. I think it's all in the journey. The magic lies in the journey. And most people, when you come across and especially the beginners who are starting out in their own journey, they feel that they want to achieve this. I want this number, which will make me happy. I want to cross this particular finish line, then I will be happy. I want that medal. I want this particular car or a house, or but it's actually the joy that you derive in the journey. And I think I tell this to a lot of my students as well, that you don't become an Iron Man when you cross a finish line. You become an Iron Man in your training. On the day of the race, you just cross the finish
I,
line, but
I,
you're
I
already
tell
become
my
an Iron Man.
exactly. So I tell my in my professional, because a lot of
Hmm.
things I derive now from my personal sports life is into my work, because that is something which I really am passionate about my work. So I tell people, if you want to go to next level or get into my level or somebody else's level, everyone aspires to be at next level. Then people don't take decision on 31st of March that now Bipin Kaul has become CEO material. Over a period of the whole year, people will observe and see what kind of effort I make, and am I doing something beyond what I am expected to. So that is what. So I remember I used to do when the world was sleeping and everything. I used to wake up 2 o'clock in the morning and go and do 100 kilometer cycling, come back, get ready, and 9 o'clock I was used to be in the office. There have been times literally I used to wake up and I used to say, why am I doing this? Yaar, I am not competing for the Olympics and I'm spending medals of money or ton loads of money on everything, all this. Why am I doing it? But there
Yeah.
was something that kept me, and I'm sure you will understand what I'm saying. That something every day morning I used to wake up 2 o'clock. Even if
Hmm.
I would sleep at 1 o'clock, I would wake up at 2:30 because I knew I have 4 or 5 hours window to train for, and that's how my journey has been, and I've thoroughly loved it. If you ask me, I would, for nothing, I would let go of such experience of preparing. But the journey itself is like I don't now look at कि event कैसा होगा, finish क्या होगा. But
Hmm.
what I enjoy in terms of making notes, preparing for it, and I tell people that don't skip that thing. Generally, we have this tendency, they will say, अब क्या करना चाहिए, ऐसे कर लो, ऐसे कर लो. They will not do the homework of doing the research. They will just copy the research for somebody and just go on. So
Hmm.
this is what I learned from one of my friends who is a mentor to also Mayank Vaid also. So the first note, I've actually shared the photo also with you. The first notes I made for Ultraman,
Yeah.
the handwritten note for me, everything. So I always remember because that is when I started actually doing the research work. Earlier it was okay, what have you done? Thak thak, ऐसे चार चीजें कर लो and get going. So I
Hmm.
do so much of research now on things and then prepare myself
Yeah.
for an event.
Yeah, I think I like the quote that you have in your background as well for
I'll
listeners.
get aside and let everybody see listen.
Yes, for people who are watching on YouTube, you might be able to see all it takes is all you've got. And for the listeners on Spotify or other platforms, this quote, before we started recording this, Vipin shared this quote with me a couple of times. All it takes is all you've got. And I started the episode with this. I want to know it from you. Why do you live by this particular quote, and how did it come about, and what keeps you going?
It was just a coincidence because I keep on try I keep on I'm very self-driven person. So for a self-driven person, there are a lot of things which you need to keep on
Hmm.
building on to be inspired with, like to, I guess obviously you have a lot of inspiration from outside world, but I think I keep on deriving a lot of meaning out of these quotations. So I have a
Hmm.
folder of good notes. So every day in my WhatsApp profile pic would be different quote or something. I keep
Hmm.
on saving them. But I think this is one particular quote which I find is like every time I'm stuck, every time I'm confronted with enormity of a situation or anything, I just have to read this and something happens. It's like the way whenever I sing a national anthem, I every time have tears in my eyes. I don't know. It's not that like I'm very ultra nationalist or this, but there is something which brings those goosebumps in you. So I think whenever I read this quote, it may tells me this: you don't have to look right, left, or center.
Hmm.
All what it takes to cross the finish line is all what you have. It is just that you have to make an effort. The problem is what happens is by reading these quotes, people actually sometimes go overboard and say, okay, that yeah, we can do it or not. So, I have realized there are people, why people who excel and are like committed to excellence are people who are able to dream first big.
Hmm.
So 99% of the people are not able to dream big. That
Yeah.
is the problem. So that is what differentiates between the Bill Gates or Mark Zuckerberg or Elon Musk or anybody. That we are incapable as a human being. We are incapable to dream. That's why you'll find people will not aspire to do a
Hmm.
triathlon or these things. Then people who dream, of that 99.9% will not make an effort.
Action. Yeah.
So the 0.0001% are people who are Elon Musk or the Bill Gates of the world or Tiger Woods of the world, or you name any sports who
Or
have
Vijay Shekhar Sharma.
even for him, you should see kind of work he puts in. People only see one side story of that he's a billionaire now.
Hmm.
You have
Hmm.
no idea what kind of effort he makes यार. मतलब रात को 3 बजे भी बैठ के we get some message कि अच्छा ये नहीं चल रहा है, ये हो रहा है, and he is somebody like in a call we are there and he's making notes and we are discussing and he's making notes. That's the kind of passion. So it cannot happen without passion, all these things. So
Yeah.
what I was trying to tell is that people commit this mistake of that I want to, everybody aspires to be a good sportsman, to be a CEO of the bank or CEO of a company or to be a billionaire, but they don't back calculate what it requires to. So
Hmm.
people who are able to back calculate, then they don't make an effort. So 99% don't dream. Then out of that, what 1% are there? Out of that, 99% don't make an effort. So
Hmm.
whatever is left out are people who actually then succeed and
Yeah.
become what they become.
Absolutely. I think in the hindsight, everything looks easy and everything. People, when they're looking back, they would always say, "Ki, Arey, this guy used to be my friend, and look at him now." But what happens is that when you're looking at the journey, it's, I think any journey that you're trying to aspire, like you mentioned, it could be your ultra fitness journey, it could be your business journey, it could be your professional journey. It takes years. I would say it takes decades also. Where you are today, it's not because 3 years ago you had a dream that you wanted to do this. Probably because you were working towards it for consciously from the last 30 years. It's a culmination of that. It's been the mental journey that you would have, built over a period of time, which has actually given you the that tenacity to keep going, because you've seen so many cycles of ups and downs there. And I'll tell you what, personally, I'm just sharing this with you. It's not like every day you wake up at 4 o'clock and you're feeling all ultra manish, or even a marathoner or a Iron manish, right? Most of the days you're actually cursing yourself. What the hell am I doing? Why am I doing this? 90% of the days are actually like that. You have so many deadlines. I also have a professional career that, so many things to answer to. But then that tomorrow, if I have to be up at 4, 5, 6 or whatever, or even if it's a heat run at 12 o'clock, I have to get it done. And everything else has to fit into that kind of a schedule. And so 90% of the days you don't want to do it because you are enjoying it. You do enjoy on 10-20% of the days, but it's
That's what
that you have to do it, and it's a mental muscle that you have to develop.
you know, I think all of us have same problem that you get demotivated. There too much
Yeah.
of stress, schedule nahi hai. Only thing what has kept me going on the track has been that the core activity of core
Hmm.
whole this journey of struggling, going through the grind, going through the pain,
Hmm.
and then crossing the finish line has always been that I have enjoyed it.
Yeah.
That has been the common point in everything I have done. So
Hmm.
it's been never that I have been doing compulsorily कि यार ये मजबूरी है ये इवेंट करना है ये करके ना कि ऐसे करना है. But every journey I have enjoyed. I think that has been the common thread which has kept me going every day. Like when I was working in IDFC, so I had such a heavy schedule, working 12 hours and
Hmm.
coming, and then but you have to cycle 3 hours, do on a trainer, and then early morning 5 o'clock you have to run. Then logistic. You won't believe I used to take 2 days every Sunday. I used to see a second half and only make itinerary.
Yeah. Yeah.
Week Monday, where am I? What sports I'm doing and how much I have to do. Tuesday, I'm in
Wow.
Coimbatore, Chennai, Hyderabad, Vizag, Kakinada, wherever. And you would see in that time there was no district where I would have not run 10 kilometers or more. So
Wow.
every district on my Garmin Connect, you will find that every district I would have run those days. You name any city in South, I would have run there and
Wow.
done my event. And I used to feel more tired of working on the logistic rather than on the doing the activity itself.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the only common point was I used to thoroughly enjoy it. And
Absolutely.
good part is I'll tell you that
Hmm.
sports, it has been such a blessing that I have been able to meet such good people.
Hmm.
But I firmly believe now that sportsmen or women are good human beings. I will not say better, but good human beings. I have found people, like I was in Bangalore, I met one of the person there. He used to take me like I used to have some weekend cycling I had to do climb because when I was doing Ultraman, it's a very high elevation,
Hmm.
long
Hmm.
distance.
Hmm.
So I didn't get that on a normal roads. I won't get that. So he used to take me 3 o'clock in the morning from Indranagar to Nandi Hills. He used to come in the car. I would climb the cycle to Nandi Hill, and he would get me back in his car. Then we used to do so. I would used to do 8, 9 times climb up and down. 3 o'clock. By 7 o'clock we would be free. He would drop me, and then he would go office. I would go office. He would get breakfast for me there. So these are the people I
Yeah.
got to know. In normal world, you will never get such people who would
Willing
complete
to.
that rhyme or reason help you because they
Yeah.
are also so passionate about it and they want to be part of that journey.
Yeah.
And then that guy ended up doing his first Ironman in Malaysia. So he had registered for half, and I kept on. He saw me that what it takes.
Yeah.
So then he said कि सर मेरे को लगता है कि ना फुल ही कर लेते हैं जब इतना एफर्ट कर रहे हैं ये तो फुल कर लेते हैं. So he actually cancelled his half and converted to full, and he finished his first Ironman.
Superb.
So that's how
Yeah.
I think I'm really lucky that I've been able to meet really good people, genuine
Yeah.
human beings with this sports.
Absolutely. I think, see, when if you're trying to on a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, if you message any of your random WhatsApp groups, all of us are part of at least 60 to 70 WhatsApp groups, and if you message in any of the groups that Friday, Saturday party karte hain, so let's meet up for some drinks and all. I'm sure you will get at least 20, 30, 40 responses for people ready to sit and drink to the glory, to drink for 5, 6, 7, 8 hours. But you try messaging to 50 groups that tomorrow 3:30, 4 o'clock, let's catch up for a 5 hour, not a drink, but maybe a ride or a run. I am 100% sure you will not get more than one or two people. So I think it's a class apart for sure. These are probably 0.01% of the overall population. But what I've seen is, and I will second you on this, is that these are more driven individuals, motivated individuals who are actually better citizens as well, and better team players, better self-motivated people who I would in fact kill for having these kind of people, even one or two of them in your team, and you know that that task will get done regardless of how many difficulties will happen, what resources you have, not have. Every team should be able to have a couple of these people who will get it done for them and for the entire team, isn't it?
Yeah, I completely agree. So I get so matlab, I'm so happy that I have got into by accident got into this kind of
Yeah.
life, that I have met such nice people, genuine people,
Hmm.
selfless people who would like.
Yeah.
I remember I was doing Ironman Malaysia, and it was very human. It really saps you up, that business.
Hmm.
So after cycling, I was like, they didn't have any food, so either bananas or something. I wanted something different. So when I was changing after the cycling, there were two Chinese who had finished, and they were having buns and the butter and everything. So I didn't realize कि मैं अब कैसे बोलूँ उनको, मतलब how do I ask for the food and everything. So I was completely, I don't think I had energy to go and run after that.
Yeah. And that to 42 kilometers.
42 kilometers, and Malaysia was really, matlab, it takes a toll, and it was my first time I went all blazing on my bike ride and realized finally I had actually, engine was completely conked out.
Exhausted.
So I sat there, and the time they
Hmm.
finished, I just said them, "Can I get a piece of bread?" And that guy saw. I told him, "Okay, I'm not feeling too good." So that guy went to his bag. He got some butter also. He got some side something to put a jam and everything, and he just made for. He said, "You rest, you change. I will get it. Let me do it for you." And he himself had a 42-kilometer run after that,
Wow.
and he just got that out for me. I cannot forget such incidents. Somebody waking up 2 o'clock, taking me, getting me a bread sandwich for me, then getting me back. He riding behind me. Imagine Nandi Hill, 8 kilometers climb. He's behind the car in his Scorpio going, and we did this 5 or 6 times.
Wow.
Then he would take me back. He had no rhyme or reason to get up at 2 o'clock and come with me. So I'm really blessed too. I think for people, this is one good reason to get into this kind of life. You will genuinely meet good people.
Absolutely. Yeah, yeah. I think that is the endeavor of this podcast as well, or generally, trying to create this trifantry community of ultra runners, cyclists, or marathoners in general. Is that this community of people, they bring out such positivity in your life, and all of us keep going through ups and downs, and it's not like hunky dory for everyone. Even if you have made it in life, or every time you're trying to do a new race, I think the journey is almost the same for everyone. Yes, you would have some strategic advantage or some tactical advantage, but the journey of going through the grind, I think, remains the same. And this community kind of helps you in nudging you that, it's okay. I'm also there. Let's get it done. And when we hear stories such as yourself, I think uh, anyone who's listening out today, even if it's just two, three people, I would tell you that everything is possible. Just keep going. Whatever you want is already there in you, right? All it takes is all if you've got.
So I think completely. I think, and people tell me whenever I talk to them in my office, especially people tell me
Hmm.
मैं busy हूँ, मैं बहुत काम कर रहा
Yeah.
हूँ, ये है वो सारा कुछ करके है. And generally people commit mistake कि मुझे weight gain करना है, मुझे fit होना है, इस वजह से ये सब कुछ करना है. So just, and I hope, I think that's natural also, but I hope that compulsion of becoming fit and lightweight transforms into enjoyment, pleasure, and way
Yeah.
of life. For me, sports is today now way of life. So it's like as unhygienic as not doing a brush in the
Yeah.
morning. It's as if I don't do something now today, like I've got such a busy schedule that I'm not able to move out, but I will go and sit in a coffee shop, go in my gym, come back. at least I get sense of that I am connected. So it's become a hygiene for me. It's way of life now. It is not something that I do it for some event or triathlon or something.
Yeah.
Like today, last 1.5 year after I had COVID last first wave. After that, I've not done anything major and all that. So my health has taken a toll on that. But I have made sure that something or other I'm connected, because now it has become way of life. If I don't do one day, I'm lethargic. I don't feel so good about my work and everything. So
Mhm.
I think from the pressure and compulsion of losing weight to becoming a way of life, I think
Yeah.
that is very critical, and that is where people, mentors, guidance, right advice is very important. Generally, I find people just go all out, all guns blazing, and they injure themselves, and then they say, "मेरे तो knee में problem हो गया, मेरे back pain हो गया, मेरा ये हो गया, वो हो गया," because they go all out. My advice to everyone is enjoy the journey, enjoy the research you do, enjoy the better knowledge you get, enjoy that becoming, that process of becoming from average of little less of being average. That journey, it's that is what this sports is, and you might end up doing in anything else. But
Yeah.
I think that process is very important, and that's why I tell people that it's good to start from being fit to losing weight, but then take help and advice from people, because
Yeah.
generally we hearsay basis we say that 40 kilometer run karo, and I get so much stories that मेरी तो knee में pain हो गया, I've stopped now, I've now
Yeah.
stopped doing running or
All. Yeah.
cycling.
Absolutely. So, okay, moving to the next segment of our discussion, segueing slightly towards the mindset and professional side of things. You are part of one of the most talked about organizations, which is Paytm. They've recently gone for a very successful and a roller coaster kind of a ride, Paytm, through their IPO, and you're leading important businesses for them. What keeps you going on your professional side, and how does your sports side come in?
So I think my core DNA is always, I can't do half work. So I can't do like mediocre work. It might end up to be a mediocre work, but from my expectation, I give 200%. So
Hmm.
I'm so paranoid about things, my work, my way of doing things, that I think my mission has always been committed to excellence. Be committed to excellence. Whatever you do, whatever capability you have, you give your 200%.
Hmm.
Be it my work, be it my, so I will go to the nitty gritty of work, that ये Excel ऐसे बना है, data कैसे दिख रहा है. I believe in a process. I will never do by a fluke or by a gamble. I
Hmm.
will always go on a process कि input क्या है, output क्या हो रहा है. And same things and that DNA has been my childhood DNA since I've been child. It has always been there in my work.
Hmm.
That is what got replicated in my sports life also.
Hmm.
So whatever I do, I cannot do half cooked कि चला आज थोड़ा सा कर लेता हूँ, कल कर लूंगा. I will do it full to the perfection. As per my standard, I will do it to the perfection.
Hmm.
So I think that is what DNA really helps me. And I think God has been kind to me that I'm a very hyper guy. I have touch word hyper energy, and luckily sports helped me to actually, earlier when I was not into sports, so that energy actually used to get too much of stress, because you are energetic, you are excited, you are motivated, does not mean everybody around you is.
Absolutely.
And then people in office used to have real big struggle working with me, because I was always 24 by 7 hyper, sometimes
Hmm.
very heated arguments or anything. And people never understood कि क्या हो रहा है, because मैं 24 घंटे motivated हूँ, but the other guy is like on his own level and scale. Sports taught me that to actually how to bring that variance to,
Yeah.
if somebody is here, I will come to this level, if somebody is here, I will try to aspire to be at that level.
Yeah.
I think that has really helped me. Every time I have tried to derive analogies from my
Hmm.
sports to this thing. So today, like, the targets are there. Whenever I commit to an event, I never plan it. If today something excites me, like English channel, one day after my Ultraman English channel excited me, I registered it, I booked,
Hmm.
then started studying, and then I said, oh shit, what did I do? Neither I have a right slot nor I have a right season to do it. I'm getting in the worst time of the season, the slot. But then I said, so be it. That is the fun of it. So then started working. And same thing in work. Whatever is told, my thought process has always been how to do it now, rather than how can it be done or not.
Hmm. Hmm.
And you eventually end up, most of the time you end up doing it. You might err here or there, but you end up doing on that. So I think
Absolutely.
my, and I always, I think people, as I said in the beginning, that dreaming big is necessary condition, but it's not a sufficient condition to cross a finish line.
Yeah.
The amount of hard work it requires, amount of planning, the execution, I think you have to execute. The military execution is very important. People only see that. I can't tell you amount of sacrifices one has to go. Most of these things have happened at the cost of my family. When I was traveling, I was doing these events, it was happening at the time I could spend with my family and all
Yeah.
that. Yes, I found a midway of actually involving my family into it, so that there is no compromise. Like my Ultraman event, my team, my family was the crew. So
Yeah.
they went with me, they were in the car with me. My wife was working on my diet, my daughters were working more on the
Wow.
dress and everything. So I have found out ways to actually deliver, but I have never given up in terms of that. I
Hmm.
remember one of my boss used to say, "It
Hmm.
is your, as a subordinate, it is your birthright to come and crib and complain about the problems. कि ये पांच problem है इसलिए नहीं हो रहा है." But at the same time, it is your responsibility to come with five options also, okay, how it can be done. And
Yeah.
then it is my job to tell you, okay, take this option, this option, this option. That has stuck with me in my whole life. That
Wow.
if you have a problem, you only have to find a solution.
Yeah.
You have to only go with the choice, and somebody will help you find कि अच्छा ये option one करो, two करो, three करो.
Yeah.
And that is the philosophy I follow in my all parts of my personas, be it personal life, professional life. I always follow this. Whatever the problem is, I have to only find a solution. I might have a better or a very good or a very poor solution, but solution has to come from you only.
Absolutely.
I think these
I
are have really helped me in my professional as well as my sports life.
Absolutely. Being a business leader for many, many years now, I am sure you've gone through a lot of MDPs, management development programs, or workshops, or conventions, or conferences where they teach a lot of gyan about data, a lot of data analytics, AI, leadership, soft skills, XYZ. A lot of things keep happening. But I feel that there is an essential element which is missing, which is developing this kind of a mental fortitude. As per you, being a leader for many, many years now, what do you think? Should leaders indulge in some kind of sports, ultra sports, or marathons or half marathons to build that kind of tenacity to become a better leader? Do you think that will help having this additional kind of physical programs to really make you a better leader?
See, obviously, I have seen sports, and I can only give my example that how it has helped me.
Mm.
Before my sports, I always was like this. My intent was always pristine, that I will never do some politics or try to bring somebody down. But my
Mm.
approach and my way was not
Mm.
right. I would be very aggressive. I would go all full gun blasting on somebody and say that you've not done this. But I think sports, I was lucky that I got into sports, and there's a lot of things what actually, you won't believe what I am today, I think is significantly due to the sports life, or the endurance, I will call it endurance way
Mm.
of life I've got. So I think biggest thing, if you ask me as a leader today after working 20-21 years, has been
Mm.
empathy part.
Mm.
I think if you have a pristine intent and empathy, I think you can be a phenomenal leader. So I never understood what empathy meant. Well, obviously, in English term, we had always learned from dictionary what empathy means, but
Mm.
actual how it comes in my body, it doesn't come naturally to me to empathize with somebody. I'm a very
Mm.
hard taskmaster, but like people work with me whole year, they would say, yeah, it's very tough to work with them. But end of the year, they find themselves a better professional. So I
Mm.
always tell my people, it is tough to work with me because I'm a very hard taskmaster. But I can promise you one thing. What you are today and what next year, same time, when you look at yourself, you would have said you become a better professional or better human being.
Mm.
So I think I learned a big thing from sports was empathy. Like as I was saying that for me, definition of appreciation or recognizing somebody was very output tangible driven. That you
Mm.
have delivered your targets, you have done this XYZ, okay, good job done. But if somebody has made an effort, not delivered, for me, he was a zero.
Mm.
Sports taught me, because I used to go through the same grind. When you're running a marathon, imagine now when I was doing my ultra when in Ultraman, imagine first day you're doing 10 kilometers swim, 125 kilometers cycling, next day 370 kilometers cycling, and third day now you have to run 84 kilometers. So I remember doing 42, and I was like saying, "Oh wow, I've done 42." And then I said, "Shit, I have to done another 42." It's like something like which I would do for a 1 month training and then do 42. Here I have to do back to back too.
Yes.
But then there was somebody who was coming from their side, and Vipin, just last 42. He said, just this, come on, last 42 now. So halfway to go.
Wow.
That kicked me. That was a way at looking at a problem. One would look at it, मेरे को अभी half एक another full marathon भागनी है. The
Yeah.
other way was looking at, you've done half of it. Now
Yeah.
just last, it is everything. And somebody said that okay, now, so I always keep this way in my mind to motivate
Hmm.
myself. There are few tricks which I do. So
Hmm.
I'm just digressing from
No,
your
no,
point,
please.
but I'll just, these are intro, because these things have really helped me.
Hmm.
I would always, when I'm turning back, I will always say, okay, now, to make it easier, I remember after 42 kilometers turning on a third day, I used to say, now every step I am taking is towards the finish line, even if it is
Yeah.
like 42 kilometers. But now every point is, now every step I am taking is closer to the finish line. I
Wow.
would always visualize whenever I register event, na, I don't start with the training. I start with finish line पे मैं कैसे flag खड़ा लूंगा, where will be my family standing, where
Wow.
will, because trust me, it starts from the finish line. It doesn't start from the start. It starts from the finish line. You have to start visualizing. Every time for Ultraman, we did a preparation where my family would be standing, where would I be standing, and every time I used to wake up at the 2 o'clock, I used to have tears in my eyes when I was like struggling to sleep, struggling to get to normal sleep, and 2 बजे उठ के अंधेरे में डर होता है कि सुबह 2 बजे तुम्हें निकलना है साइकिलिंग. इमेजिन करो कोलार वाली रोड पे 2 बजे तुम निकल रहे हो साइकिलिंग करने के लिए विदाउट एनी सपोर्ट.
Yeah.
Only thing what used to motivate, I used to visualize that finish line, that my family would be standing and I would be getting a medal. So that's all I remember I start off with, because it starts from the finish line. Second thing I do is always is I create small when the journeys are so long, I create small goalposts and I celebrate. I celebrate. So if I do five, like I will break 42 kilometers into 5 kilometers. So every 5 kilometer, I will keep small packet of chewing gum with me. I like to chew. So for every 5 kilometer, I will treat myself with one chewing gum. So I used to look forward to, अच्छा एक और 5 किलोमीटर आएगा, then I'm going to have this treat for me. So these are small things what I've learned. Now coming back to the question we were saying, it has taught me so much of empathy. Now whenever somebody is running, now it doesn't matter he's last or the first or whatever, he has started and he's going through the same grind, he's going through the more grind than somebody who's finishing in the first. And the kind of, it is natural which comes, come on Nishan, let's do it, it's last 10 kilometer, come on,
Yeah.
last 5 kilometer, let's do it. It comes naturally, I don't have to pretend there. But in my office it doesn't come naturally to me. It never came to me naturally that I will pat somebody's back. I would always feel कि अगर इसको बोल दिया ना तो ये सर पे चढ़ जाएगा, अभी ज्यादा अप्रिशिएट करके तो काम
Absolutely.
नहीं
Yeah.
करेगा. But sports में ऐसा नहीं होता है. So these are the small things which I have learned. I've started respecting input, effort rather than the output. I think these are
Wow.
few things which I have learned from that. So people drive, somebody from music, somebody from trekking, somebody from sports, whatever you derive, if it makes you a better person. Like for me, sports has been a savior. I
Hmm.
might would have ended up somewhere na highly aggressive guy and ended up somewhere. But I think sports saved me. Sports helped me to channelize my energy, and it has really, what I am today is been the beauty is I have career. I will not say peaked in my career. I have
Hmm.
seen heights in my career along with my sports life. It has not happened that people generally say, "यार मैं sports कर रहा था तो I took a hit on my career or my
Yeah.
career." My journey has been like together on those things.
Wow.
Better I have done on sports, I have done much better on my professional life also.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I found out time there are 24 hours only, so there are no
Absolutely.
26, 27 hours. It is up to you how you bring another 5 hours into that by being more efficient. And I think planning, execution in terms of how I used to plan things, get ready about things, I think I've been able to add another 2, 3 hours in every 24 hours in my life.
Absolutely. I think whenever I'm speaking with especially youngsters or people in the organizations, and people, end up saying that, how do you find time? Like me as an example, I'm a working professional, I'm a coach, and I like to speak with people, like you, a driven individual. And then there is a bit of content creation on social as well, which was part of. And then people ask me, how do you find time? Why do people speak with you? And I tell them that, it's just about reaching out to 10 people. I'm very sure that when your vibrations match, at least two of them will say yes, probably eight of them will say no, but that's all right. And then you have to wake up, you have specific goals on your fitness races or ultra events also. And then it's just about finding priorities. It's just about, like you mentioned, adding 2 hours to a day, that just adds up about 14 hours a week, which adds up at least overall. It adds 3 to 4 days extra in your calendar when you start adding all of this, right? 3 days extra means we are already ahead of so many people. Just the act of waking up at 5 o'clock puts you at least 90% ahead of 90% of the people, right? So it's just about finding priorities. It's just about having this balance in life. And secondly, you will never have time in your life, a phase in your life that you will say कि अब मैं सब कुछ छोड़ के ये करूंगा and then I will do this. I will leave everything and I will do this study, do this course, this particular relationship, this particular phase of life, or I will leave everything and I'll do this. Then I don't think so. That may work for some people, but it is always good to have everything running together and keep moving forward with the goalpost that you just mentioned.
One of my mentors used to tell me professional life mein
Hmm.
there are people who are balancers and who are maximizers.
Hmm.
तो maximizers are people who will start everything थोड़ा थोड़ा हर रोज थोड़ा 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 हर चीज में करेंगे.
Hmm.
मैक्सिमाइजर वो होते हैं कि जो कहते हैं नहीं पहले तो मैं ये करूंगा, मैं अपना करियर पहले बनाऊंगा, फिर जिस दिन मैं ये बन जाऊंगा उसके बाद मैं फिर स्पोर्ट्स करूंगा. एंड देन
Yeah.
देयर आर बैलेंसर्स हु विल बी सेइंग अच्छा चल अभी करियर भी चल रहा है, थोड़ा स्पोर्ट्स कर लेते हैं, ये भी कर लेते हैं. दे विल डू एवरीथिंग थोड़ा थोड़ा, मतलब
Yeah.
सोशल लाइफ ऑन दो. So I used to remember because it's a big taboo now when you're a professional and you're doing these sport, then people used to first question ये काम नहीं कर रहा होगा, ये
Yeah. Yeah.
तो छुट्टियां ले रहा होगा, वो कर रहा होगा. Luckily I have been very blessed to be in organizations which have
Hmm.
understood my passion and
Hmm.
empathize with me and allowed me to pursue these things.
Absolutely.
So in fact, in PTM now, Vijay has told me to create a fitness club or a sports club and
Wow.
create that kind of thing. So I think I've been lucky on that part that I have got that system and environment also that. But what I learned that my sports complemented my professional life. More I did better there, I ended up doing professionally also better because I became a better person. I had a
Yeah.
better connect with people, and I now realize that it is not about product. It's first the people and then the product.
Absolutely.
So,
And I think it all starts with that one person, one thought. And if that thought can be nurtured, that could actually create a lot of difference. I recently joined a new organization in Bangalore, which is Excite Life. And of course, there we introduced a program. I took it upon myself and introduced a program called Excite Life Fitness Challenge, where it had never been done before. So we started this movement for people to do at least 10,000 steps a day, and then toppers can do up to 25,000 steps a day. And normally, any initiative which comes, let's say from HR or anyone, people would not even pay attention to it. This particular event, 5,000 people participated over a course of 28 days, actually 30 days. And people started posting pictures, people started doing 25,000 steps a day. Normally they would not even go out and do 5,000 steps also. And then there were 100 people who were doing 25,000 steps a day. And I was telling them every day that this is not healthy. You're not even, ideally it's not healthy, right, if you're not on a program. But you would not believe, over a period of 30 days 5,000 people participated, and this became a runaway hit. Now people are asking us to bring out the season 2 of the program and roll it out for the advisor folks also, which is another 45,000 people in the organization. In my previous organization, SBI, SBI's, I should not say it, but then, ideally considered like a slow organization with average age being high and all. But there in 2018, we introduced a concept called SBI Green Marathon, fought with everyone, got some budgets, then introduced in 5 cities. It became such a runaway hit in the first version. 25,000 people participated. Then we got approvals to do another season. Then we rolled it out to 16 cities in the country. If within the second season, it became one of the biggest marathon properties in the country. And in the second year, 50,000 people participated. So I think it all starts with one person who's trying to create this moment. And fitness inherently, it's such a thing. If people actually start accepting it, it just gives you 10x the rewards.
I agree. I think the feeling of being fit, looking good, and for me, just the day I run and everything, I can actually work 24 hours that day. So morning, I will wake up like I was in Hyderabad. I ran morning with 10 kilometers, and
Hmm.
that day I was like fully high
Yeah.
on energy. Next day I couldn't because I slept 2 o'clock. I couldn't get up. I had such a lousy day, and then I was
Yeah.
thinking, and it happens every day to me. It's not that something, but it has become like hygiene. It's for me source of energy now. Every day something, and I tell people, my friends, the world is different at 5 o'clock in the morning. When you go now, it's a different world. When I'm on the golf course road, same road is so crowded. I would not even like to go there in my car.
Yeah.
But 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, when I get up, birds are chirping, light jelly. It's a different world. I tell my kids also, wake up at 4 or 5, just go for a walk and see the world. It will
Yeah.
be exactly opposite of what you've been seeing in the evening and all.
Absolutely.
So
I think
world is different.
I've always joked this that there are two types of people. There is a type of people who are going to sleep at 4 o'clock after a night of their partying and drinking and all of that. And then there is the second type of people whose party starts at 4 o'clock. They are also going out and drinking a lot. In fact, they are drinking about 600 to 700 ml of hydration, nutrition, and whatnot. But their party starts
Yeah, I was
at
I was
4.
telling Vijay the last week ना he was discussing when I was introducing myself, तो he was very happy to see अच्छा इस type के भी लोग होते हैं जो इतना
Hmm.
sports करते हैं and all that. So he's a very passionate person. Whatever he like gets, he gets deep. So he was asking मैंने I said कि my parties are like 7 o'clock खत्म करना है, कल सुबह रन है, अभी ये खा लेते हैं, अच्छा
Yeah.
ये खाना ऐसा है कि नहीं है, हाई कार्ब्स तो नहीं है, प्रोटीन है. So this is
Yeah.
the kind of discussion which happens after it. Like in last 6 years, first time I attended a Diwali party.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where we had drinks, cocktail, finished at 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock. Because eventually every day, every guy used to say Diwali में morning में run में जाना है. So
Yeah.
we have to get up early to party. So I think it's all about kind of company you get into, and I've invariably seen when I pick up something, I suddenly start meeting like-minded people.
Hmm.
Whatever
Hmm.
I do, and
Hmm.
I also chase people like Mayank, where he was the fastest. He's fastest Ultraman. So I picked up. Then I realized one of my friends is cousin to him. Then I got connected. Then he came to India from Hong Kong. We spent some time and all that. And then he would train me, coach me, or give me tips or mentoring and all those things. So that's how I always have been in the right company. Whenever
Yeah.
I've chosen something, I've been in the right company to actually stay focused. Because
Focused.
that really helps you to stay focused in that. Because every day I used to say I done 100 kilometers. Some guy would get up, अरे मैंने कल ही 300 किलोमीटर किया है, तो you say that shit अभी और करना पड़ेगा. तो you were never like ना you're
Sit on
very
our laurels and
conscious. Hey, I've done this. So in my group, the standard is so high that every time I do something, na, by that time somebody like Gaurav Makkar, so we have done similar kind of event. But then when I did, he did Ultraman, then I did Ultraman. Then he now did 7 Ironmans in 7 days. So epic 7 करके. Then I said, okay, अब मुझसे नहीं होगा. But someday, मतलब like there are back of the mind goals which I have kept my myself. So I think it's very important kind of company you are into, kind of people
absolutely,
you are into.
absolutely.
That also forms your thought
Yeah,
process
yeah.
and
In fact,
commitment.
I have this funny way to look at it. I started my running journey about 16 years back, and I used to think when I look back and when I tell someone that I was running for 16 years, they probably then they back calculate, are you like 40, 50? I'm like, no, I got into this bad habit, probably bad from your angle, but it's been so long that it becomes the part of you. And then I tell them that I don't even look at it from the 16-year angle. I'm just looking that I've just gotten started. In fact, I might be running from 16, 17 years from 2005 onwards, but I am still learning so many things about it every single day. And then I have actually plans for the next 50 to 60 years. And I keep telling them that when you put yourself goals for the next 50 to 60 years, the horizon completely changes. Then it's never about I want to do 2 minutes faster or 3 minutes. It's if I for me success would be forget about the millions, billions, or money or whatever will happen or what happens. If I'm able to run at the age of 80, 85, what else do you want in life? Matlab, money and all of that you will cross those bridge by that age of 40, 45. All right, if you want to earn billions, you might do it by 45, 50. If you are a VSS or someone else, you might do it at the age of 30, 45, 46. But ठीक है, then what? You have the money, you have, where would you go with that kind of money?
No, I
And
think
what would you do after you've retired at 50 or 60 or whatever? What will you do for the next 25, 30 years of your life? And if you're able to do this, I think you've already won in life.
no, I agree. I think I tell my in my office, even jokingly, I tell somebody that I work so that I can live this kind of life where I can
Yeah.
do sports. In fact, I was telling other day in our senior management meeting also, I come to office only so that I get salary paid for actually I can do my events because people think so. My relatives used to tell my mamaji used to tell me, "Acha, you're spending so you must be getting a lot of money for doing this event." So I had to tell him like I spend so much of money on my own. Then he would go and tell my mother that be careful, this guy might sell everything and all that, so be careful. So people don't understand the passion na, this
Yeah.
whatever the kind of experience I've had of every event na, no amount of property, no amount of cars, no amount of jewelry
Nothing,
can
nothing.
actually replace that kind of
Yeah,
gratification because that is with me. It only gets appreciated, not depreciated. So
absolutely.
every time I remember, I cherish it more.
Absolutely.
So in fact, that has really helped me in terms of like
Yeah.
every time, every event, and in fact, with age, I have become better. So when I did my first marathon, I think I was 33, 34. I did it in 4 hour 59 minutes. At the age of 38, I did it in 3 hour 48 minutes. So that is how with age actually I have improved because the maturity, understanding, the kind of mental effort I do because it's these things are not only physical.
Yeah.
There's a lot of diet planning which goes into what kind of diet you're having, what kind of
Yeah.
sleep you're
Yeah.
having, what kind of fitness. So I remember I was doing this event. I was doing the triathlon, Hyderabad triathlon. So I came in first time I came first and second time I came second. So what I realized in that event was that it is not the quantity of the effort which you have to make. It has the comprehensive. So when I came first, I had done half the effort than what I had done in second. So and the first one was like I was like it was a 3/4 and in Hyderabad it's
Yeah.
really tough, the terrain and everything. I was like with half the effort only I was not confident because हमारे को feeling होती है कि ना बहुत ऐसे ऐसी करानी पड़ती है करने के लिए.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's a lot of science which I learned that and with age only I learned all these things that this scientific way to do things, what
Yeah.
food can actually help your endurance,
Hmm.
fitness and all those things. I think with age I have improved. I will say in this endurance life I have improved with
Absolutely.
age. It's been
I think
actually
it's like I really appreciate your philosophy in life of actually going deeper into it, understanding the process and doing research about it. That's what actually makes you a better athlete and a person. Also, the magic actually lies in the method, and that's the important part which most of the new community people who join the community or who are trying to do their first BRMs and all, or we get to hear this so many unfortunate cases where people collapse or various things happen, and that happens because of lack of knowledge and not because of lack of josh or anything else. Most of the people end up collapsing is because it's a simple thing, adding salt, having a salt capsule every single hour. That one particular thing, regardless of how great your nutrition has been, how great you have been consuming, but if you've not had salt capsule or having the right potassium or the mix of water as well as the hydration mix, that single thing can actually destroy you in the next 5 to 6 to 7 hours. And that's something which is very important, like doing your research or reaching out to the right person who has this requisite knowledge to actually guide you through the entire
There's
maze.
no shortcut to preparation and hard work. So I
Yeah.
think with both you can actually do it much more efficient way. I think that's why I find so many people now cropping up as coaches, mentors, advisors because it is very important because generally people only see the good stories that this guy has done this and then to prove yourself you get into that and you enjoy yourself
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
there are side effects to do this because end of the day it takes a lot of toll on your body but it
Absolutely.
is like I've seen if you it's like car you have to do maintenance you have to do servicing you have to
Yeah.
do regular things and all that so when I do my events and everything I'm so particular I go by the book like कब क्या कितना खाना है कितना पानी पीना है हर 10 मिनट में रिफिल करना है आपको सारा कुछ करना है सो आई थिंक these are the things which I have learned over period of time. I
Yeah.
did all these amateur mistakes when I started off, but I was lucky that I had right people who had done the homework. So whenever we used to talk, they would say, अच्छा ऐसे करना है,
Mm.
आपको रिफिल ऐसे करना है, पानी ऐसे पीना है, इतना इलेक्ट्रोलाइट लेना है, जेल इतने टाइम पे खाना है. सो तब समझ नहीं आता था, सुनते थे और कॉपी करते थे.
Yeah.
बट इवेंचुअली देन आई स्टार्टेड रियलाइजिंग, अच्छा जेल इतना ही खाना है, ऐसे करके खाना है, एवरी 10 minutes आई हैव टू ड्रिंक वाटर, रादर देन हैविंग 1 liter ऑफ वाटर इन 1 hour, आई हैव टू
One.
हैव एवरी 10 ml ऑफ वाटर इन 10 minutes. And
Absolutely.
it has really helped me to cross. So now when I'm fully prepared, it's been, the question is not about will I finish the finish line or not. Question is how faster or how better. It's like for me, litmus test is like, I was, when I finished my Ultraman, when I finished my 84 kilometer run, I was raring to go. I could have run another half marathon. That is the kind of training and preparation. I
Yeah.
had never a doubt that 3 day event I will be able to finish or not.
Oh,
I was
wow.
only worried about the mechanical part of the bike or anything, something goes wrong, because a 3 day event, long event. But I was never in doubt that I'm not going
Not
to
gonna
finish, because
finish.
that's the kind of preparation and training had gone behind it.
Absolutely. Bipin, I've been enjoying the conversations with you so much that I've actually lost track of time. Normally, we do about like a 40-45 minutes thing, and we are almost close to 1 hour. But I cannot let you go by before I ask you two very important questions.
Sure.
One section is called the rapid fire round, which we'll quickly do. But I want to ask a very important question, which is because the function of this podcast is also to motivate the next generation, the youngsters, to take up ultra sports. So I want to really ask you, which I ask all my guests, is that what do you think is the future of running and triathlons and marathons and any ultra sports in our country? And according to you, what are the kind of solutions that can be made so that the next generation or even Trifantry can add value to the youngsters, the generation, the millennials and the generation Z and X and all of that?
I think when I did Ironman, I had to tell people that this is the event what Milan Soman did. So people don't understand कि Ironman क्या होता है. They thought कि it's a Timex की watch which used to call Ironman, or the Marvel
Yeah.
का character. So I came from that time, from today, when people awareness. I think the community is started building now. A lot of people like you have started investing, who are coaching people, training, because there's no formal way. There are no institutes or schools or anything which train on sports
Yeah.
other than Sports Authority of India or national
Mm.
sports or government led. There are no. I think a lot of things have come out now, coming up that way. I think it will over a period of time build for such people. So that's why I feel good now. There's so much of visibility. Like if you're in Gurgaon, there is like factory of groups, like 15 people running group, cycling group, triathlon group,
Mm.
Ironman group, and all those things. It's going to take some time because these events are very expensive. So
Yeah.
people start with the easiest and the cheapest, which is running. You
Running.
just have to have shoes and the road and start running. Swimming is constrained because you need an infrastructure, and cycling itself is a constraint because you need a bike and a good bike. But I think I'm so glad that more and more people, more and more events are happening, and people like you who are actually making sure that people are ready for these things.
Yeah.
It's going to take some time because we
Mm.
come from the upbringing where, like, I played hockey. I sub junior India, I played hockey in 12th. I had a 5 year scholarship from Sports Authority of India for playing hockey and everything.
Yeah.
But after 12th I said, yaar, ho gaya, now let's focus on career. Now let me start studying, and I left everything. So all, I could have played for India, or I could have done better, or there are so many of us. Like, I think corporates. I was in Indocent. We used to do significant part of a corporate social
CSR.
corporate
Yeah.
plan, CSR, which would go into sports. So most of the Paralympics medalists are from the Indocent Foundation,
Wow.
Paralympic Foundation. So out of some 36 whatever medals, 19 or something medals which we got, half of them were actually from the Indocent Academy.
Nice.
They had Paralympics funded or sponsored them. So I think these kind of initiatives by corporates are now, they are becoming, and every company I'm finding now are sensitive to this, that there has to be, it's unhygienic that your only work or having a
Mm.
entertainment sanction. There has to be, fitness, mental and physical fitness things. I think it's going to take some time, but and unfortunately COVID has further pushed the agenda, because these are all outdoor events, you can't
Yeah.
do sitting at home. But I think it's matter of time. There are a lot of people coming up, a lot of awareness at school level, a lot of now I hear so many people going to schools and delivering a
Hmm.
speech because people don't understand what triathlon is.
Yeah, yeah,
You have to run and it's expensive things. It's just
yeah,
matter of time when we'll pick up the what happened in cricket, like even in a village the format is such that even from a remotest of the village talent will come to the country
yeah,
or to the IPL because it has become commercial now.
yeah,
So I think corporates will have to pitch in, they will have to come into picture and
yeah.
support these things and all.
Absolutely. I think from the business side of it, what I have seen, in fact, coincidentally, Trifantry completed 2 years very recently, which was actually a passion project. But again, it's been a while. I think anything that you're doing, and if you cross that, at least in the startup side, if you cross the 2 year mark, at least you are safer from the set that you will not fail going forward also. So what I've seen is that, of course, COVID as such was a bad thing for the entire world, but it actually catapulted the fitness market, and a couple of new business models rose out of it, which was the home fitness segment, which is never to be seen, and that live classes, home fitness side, and people now taking up anything other than gyms also is also taken up, and cult raising at a 1.5 billion dollar val is actually a testament that there is a market to be explored. Similarly, Fitter is doing something good in terms of personal coaching side in just weight loss category and overall fitness, and so is Healthify. These are guys who have all raised anywhere between 15-20 million to about 40 million. I think so. There is a market which is definitely getting ready, so to say. And I think in a couple of years, like right now, I'll tell you a couple of stats which is very interesting. You would ideally normally not visualize. So in India, there is a market of about 6 to 7 million people who are spending around $400 annually on their fitness. So that's about 4.5 to $5 billion kind of a market where people are spending this money on their personal training, gymming, and a bit of apparels specifically for fitness. So that's a $5 billion market, which is already there in India. And the market size is only 7 million people right now. And I'm not even considering people like you and me who are spending, we should not even mention the kind of money that we spend only on registrations of these events and registering all of that. So,
Right. So now earlier it used to be like fitness, sports used to be for kids. So
yeah.
school ka part hai and all that. Now I think and thanks to COVID now fitness is suddenly taken because people realize that पहले तो बाहर जाते थे ऑफिस जाते थे तो कुछ फिटनेस होती है अब बैठे हुए ऑफिस घर पे.
Yeah.
I found so many people running कि जी साइकिल खरीदनी है क्या करना है जी बिकॉज मैं सोसाइटी में साइकिल चला लूँगा ये कर लूँगा वो कर लूँगा. Obviously all these things have actually invigorated further
Yeah. Yeah.
and I think awareness about being fit, physically fit, has also gone up. I think that and combination of all these will
Mm.
eventually make us. Like I was in Australia when I was doing my Ultraman.
Mm.
The kind of fitness awareness,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
Sundays are like people go for sea swim. So my kayak, when I was swimming, my kayak was a 9-year-old boy. He wrote, he just told me, you just look at me, I will take you to the finish line. So with his hands, he was like, he didn't have a paddle. So from his hand, he
Wow.
rode the kayak for 10 kilometers. And he's an 8-year-old guy. And his father was telling me that this is his regular routine. So like whenever he's free, he's actually swimming in he's in the sea.
Wow. That
So
is.
eventually that will happen to us also, and what I've seen I started off this journey when I had to show them the dictionary, what does Iron Man mean, what is it, and everything. From the today that people I say Iron Man and they say, oh wow, you've done Iron Man.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that is the kind of awareness which is
In
coming.
fact, in this 5 billion market size, which I told you, I've not even considered the 1 crore cycles that get sold in India every year. Did you know that 1 crore bicycles get sold in India?
Right. Like I was in Ludhiana, so I never because I used to do cycling where the bikes are carbon and all those things. So I used to like whenever I used to go there and meet them, they said it's a black में मतलब साइकिल वो एटलस वाली जो बेसिक साइकिल है
Yeah.
it's a big thing मतलब it's a big business for them cycling while that is for mobility it's not for
Yeah.
sports But that is how things start. It's
Absolutely.
like in Netherlands or Sweden or
Yeah.
even in China, the kind of cycling people
Cycle
per,
density. Yeah,
per,
it's
per
huge.
capita cycling people do is phenomenal.
Yeah, yeah.
Infrastructure is also getting built. People are becoming sensitive because it's so risky outside. Like people
Absolutely.
don't have sense and all of them. I find sometimes people really naive when they behave, and it's risky also. So now getting it like in Gurgaon, they've made a full row, pura track hai for running. So between the sectors, it is like a 10-kilometer track now. Within
Wow.
they've created a green patch, and it's like going. So these things, the initiatives are coming up now. I think
Yeah.
government is also playing a lot of role into that. So whatever this Olympics is a testimony how now investment is happening into sports, corporates
Absolutely.
are coming into sports. So I think so generally people end up doing cricket and all that, but I think eventually money will flow into these events
Yeah,
only.
yeah, yeah. I think you're absolutely right, bang on in that perspective that when a lot of these corporates start their own fitness programs as well as investing in a lot of marathons and these kind of events and making teams in their own department, interdepartmental teams and letting people to travel across the world and throughout India, then that's where corporates like Tatas are already doing it on such a large scale, on commercial scale. So I think that's where the tipping point for fitness will also come in, especially for running and endurance sports, I think.
I agree, completely
Yeah.
agree.
All right. So quickly moving to the last part, which is the rapid fire round. And this rapid fire round is questions all around your fitness journeys, your race planning, your brands that you use, all of that. And mind you, the listeners, the people who are watching us, it's not rigged. None of the questions were shared with Vipin at all. I think he will agree for completely with me.
Okay.
All right. Are you ready?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
what we'll do is I'll ask you quick questions. There'll be 10 questions, around 20, 10 questions, and you have to quickly answer. So there's no lag in between. All right.
Okay.
All right. So here we go. Black coffee or cappuccino?
Black coffee.
All right. Which is your favorite running shoes brand?
So I wear Vibrams now. Vibrams is my favorite
Any
go-to.
particular reason why you've switched from the mainstream brands?
I feel more connected to the road. So it's like I did my comrades in Vibram. So
Wow.
I felt like my feet were burning. So I didn't know that road is so bad there that I had to actually run on the white patch. So I had to look for white patches. The road was so bad. But the kind of connect I had to the road was different. I feel more grounded. So the landing is much better on your feet. So it's felt more natural.
All right. Okay. In the order of priority or the kind of brands you would want to buy for your next bike, any aspirational brand or any brand that you've already used?
So luckily I bought already. I have a Pinarello now, so Pinarello Paris. But obviously I would like to one day have a Dogma now. So that is my dream bike.
You
I've migrated to a Pinarello now. I have to migrate to a Pinarello.
is that why the reason you've switched and taken up a new job to save up for
No, as I said, I always commit first and then plan. So I bought it before actually moving to a new job. So I actually I don't save money. I spend money either traveling worldwide or spending on sports because I feel it's a worth investment.
All right. A related question in the order of priority, top five destinations for your Ironman or marathon racing. What would be the top five destinations that you have traveled to?
I think New Zealand is the closest to my heart because that's first time I did my Ironman event. I think
Okay.
that is one. I loved Australia. Australia was good. England was good. I'm planning. I've registered for my ultimate event, which is Enduraman now. So luckily, I might get in the slot on 2022 or 2023.
Wow.
So I'm looking forward to. But these are the places. I think these are things. Australia was epic. मतलब kind of infrastructure.
Busselton?
But I know I did it Australia in Brisbane, so
Okay.
I was in Brisbane, so we did this event there.
Two more locations? Three.
And
You've done three.
I would love to go to I have been to Ireland and all these places, but love to play golf there, not triathlon. So I went there. I want to play golf there, and obviously US. I think US is
Which
epitome of
location?
anywhere in New US. I've been to New York, Miami, all the couple from the East Coast to West Coast. I've been there, but I think I love the passion in New York. So I've done on the Times Square. I've done a 10 kilometers run there between the blocks and all. I love that kind of thing.
Okay. Next question. If you have to choose only one sport out of swimming, cycling, running, hockey, golf, which sport would you choose? If only you have to choose one sport,
I hands down running. So
any
because
particular
in
reason?
every other sports now I'm still not engaged. Like in cycling, I get still time to think about. The only sports I'm able to disengage myself and overcome my brain thinking powers and
Mhm.
only survive is running. So because I don't get time to like the breathing itself is a challenge. So while I'm cycling, you can still continue to think about your office. Golf, you can still continue to think about the other worries. Swimming, swimming you like is a meditation. Swimming karte raho. But running is the only time I have been able to disconnect from everything. Everything. I'm actually in my zone. So I'm running around, moving around, and
Music or no music while
I
running?
listen to music, but all the events, the large event format events, you're not allowed to
Not
listen to
allowed.
music. Like doing comrades or so I did this Ladakh ultra when I did 72 kilometers ultra. So it was like, or Ladakh में ऐसा क्या है, there is no scenery. It's like gray rocky mountains. That's all. Wherever you look, how many kilometers you run, it's like same.
Yeah.
And it was like it was such a meditation looking at this grow because I was not able to think anything. I had low oxygen because at that elevation you don't get breathing and everything.
Yeah.
I was in my zone. I had disconnected from the world, that I have a family, I have a wife, I have kids, everything. I was just in my zone. I had nothing to fear, I had nothing to worry about.
Almost like Vipassana, right? I mean,
I'm very uneasy person. I can't sit or do
yeah, yeah,
meditation or yoga or these things, which takes a lot of patience and
yeah.
time. But like I don't have that kind of bone. But running has actually my way of meditation is running. So whenever I'm stressed out anything, I just go 10 run and come back. And
Okay.
every time it works for me. So by the time I'm back, I would have de-stressed. And my perspective on looking at things would have changed after that.
All right. So, what are the five things that you like to consume while you're doing any of your ultra events on during the race?
I'm very natural, so I don't work on gels. I've stopped now. Anything artificial, I try to get it out now. So gels or anything. So I've learned the art of eating, drinking, water. So I would take salt or I'll take orange. So I don't now drink Coke or something of these things. But anything which is natural, which comes like bananas, vegetable, a lot of fruits I will have a lot of carb natural. I don't take any proteins or any supplements. I try to complement, which is a big effort, like looking at your
Mm.
diet and everything. I use Healthify. I've just moved to Fitter and all that. But I think anything natural, which is yeah, one thing I make sure is that I know the macro and micros of
Micro.
that food, what I'm eating, not for the sake of heck of eating it, but I just follow that piece. I naturally fruits come to like I love eating fruit, so I can anytime eat fruit. So I think that's a very big part of my diet.
All right. Next question. Which is your favorite timing device, timing partner for you in all of your endurance events?
Today it is Phoenix 6. Anything to do with Garmin is like I have all kinds of watch from a tag to a Rolex or anything, but I have actually they're like rusting there in the packages. So
Yeah,
only thing I use is a Garmin
I know.
Phoenix. My wife bought me a top end Apple Watch. So for last 7 months it just was on the charger, so it was getting charged. I would never wear it. Then she got so pissed off. She said, "मेरे को दे दो वापस. I will wear it. I will start wearing it because I
I
could not.
know.
I just can't understand these watches anymore now.
Yeah.
I can't understand wearing a Tag Heuer watch and wearing a Apple Watch. I just under. I for me watch is Garmin.
All right.
Now right now I wear a Phoenix 6, so that is my right now watch.
Okay. Last question. One race or maybe two races that are in your bucket list, but you would want to do them, let's say, when you are 60 plus. A couple of things that you would want to do, any races after you're 60 plus.
So one for immediate starter, which is my dream right now, which I think कि जो
English
मुझे
channel.
करने ना कि मेरी औकात नहीं है वो करने के लिए. That is Endura Man. So which is like you run from London till Dover, you run 120 kilometers, then you do English Channel swim, and then you from
Wow.
Calais to Paris, you cycle for around some 300-400 kilometers.
Wow.
So that is something which I'm aspiring to. Bucket list, this is huge, but one bucket list is doing all major marathons, and for the pleasure of traveling world. So the day I think I can retire and do, I will just pack the bag and travel, do a run, travel, do a run. So that's how I would like to pass off or retire from my life.
Wow, wow, wow. Thank you so much, Bipin. What a phenomenal, interview this has been. You've shared such amazing nuggets throughout. And like I said earlier, normal interviews, last for 40, 45 minutes, and we are well over 1 hour, 15 minutes. And I feel like, even if we keep going, we should actually just meet up for like a 2, 3 hour run or a ride or something.
I travel a lot. Whenever travel next, I'll for sure will catch up. And
Absolutely. Before you, leave us, any parting thoughts for people who are trying to start on their journey or who are already part of their journey, and your parting thoughts for the next generation to,
I will
get
I
on
will
their fitness journey?
I will only repeat, all it takes is all you have got. So there's nobody required, nothing required. Trust me. If you decide that you want to do this, things will start falling in place. So I am a very firm believer, not for saying it, but it's in you. It is just that you have to start dreaming that you can do it. This is what my wife keeps on telling me, that you have to start thinking big for things to happen that way. If you anyways will think this level, eventually you might end up further lower than that. So I
Absolutely.
think dream and then plan and then execute. Put the hard work. There's no substitute to any one of them.
All it takes is all you've got. Thank you so much, Vipin Kaul, for doing this and taking out your valuable time. We know that you're leading one of the biggest, most sought after organizations right now, and it's an honor to have amazing
It is
conversations with
all
you.
mine. I really loved going through all the. I went through the videos and all, and I was just doing the homework. But then I loved it so much that I went through all of them and
Wow.
looking at the journeys, and I could actually empathize and understand what these guys were talking about. And you making this effort, which is a non-profit kind of effort, and this is what it takes to actually popularize this way of living. So thank you very much, all.
Thank you
God,
so much. Thank
thank
you
you so
for
much.
being on Trifantry Chronicles.
My pleasure.
Yeah, train, endure, conquer, guys. And if you've been watching up till the very end, please subscribe to the channel, and I will bring you more amazing people like Vipin Kaul in the next episode. Thank you, and keep training, keep enduring, and keep conquering.
Thank you very much. Have a good